Eu estou vendo ele tá ligando.
Tá ligando. Gerúndio.
Gerúndio, já tá a aparecer.
Miron, the sauce is ever soon come. So we will start in a very nice clock precision, Latin clock precision, and the word is yours.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we can start. My name is Middleman and I came from Croatia, Polytechnics of Rijeka. My expertise is cybersecurity, information security systems, and for my PhD, my field of interest was biometrics, lots of algorithms, mathematics. But lately I moved to the data privacy problems, and today presentation is all about data privacy, and it's a light theme of that topic. It's nothing difficult. Okay, I'm also head of the Information Security Center at our institution. In Croatia, this town is called Rijeka, has approximately 1,000 inhabitants, and it's a port on Adriatic Sea. And we also have polytechnics with several departments: business, ICT, traffic, tourism, let me see, telematics, and so on. And our students also came to do Erasmus, and you are all invited to do Erasmus program as well. Okay, and now presentation. Presentation is about data privacy. Today, everybody is talking about privacy, and mostly the big companies, and when we use the technology, privacy is one of the main word today. But if we try to define privacy, privacy is right to be let alone, or freedom from the interface or intrusion, but information privacy is right to have some control of your personal information data. And internet and online privacy is similar in defining also. But with privacy we have two parts. One part is privacy problem, and the other part are users, because users are mostly lack of awareness and lack of education. And the third component is the ease or comfort to give our personal data away. Common opinion is I don't worry about my data, my privacy, because I don't have anything to hide. Do you agree with that statement? You are not because you are from security and ICT, but common opinion is something like that. Today, we are generating lots of data. Why I put this slide, Internet of Things? Because in the 90s, the bad guy of informatics was Microsoft, Bill Gates, and companies like that. And in the United States and in films, series, you can watch that government and CIA and FBI will chip us and track us and steal our data. But today, we chip ourselves with Internet of Things devices. Smart devices are around us. Smart watch, smart glasses, smart tattoos, smart television, smart refrigerator, smart t-shirt, everything is smart. But all those devices provides some data. And where this data is going, nobody knows. In Croatia, we have in law, in our constitution, some called privacy of home. And the police or, I don't know, secret service cannot enter to your own home without warrant. And with these smart devices, there's no need to enter physically in your home, because they can turn on your camera, TV, I don't know, refrigerator, gaming console, everything is connected to the internet. Okay, and today, data is a new oil, or information is gold of 21st century. Who has the information rule the world. But we must distinguish two definitions, data and information. Data without any meaning is practically nothing, but data plus meaning is information. And this is the most dangerous part of our privacy. But if you think, who wants our data? Mostly in newspaper, on portals, big companies like Apple, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Amazon. Why? Because we are using their technology. But when we're using technologies, we often must to agree to the terms of using that technology. And this is an example of end user license agreements. It's lots of text. Usually people don't understand all the paragraphs or article. And often they only clicked, yes, I agree, next, 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 okay. And that's it. But in this end user license agreement, it's written that you agree with to share your data with the third-party services. But who are those guys? Third-party services, we don't know. Social networks, for first topic, knows the pair of shoes you want from your favorite online store, your favorite band's TV shows, if you have a baby or dog, when you are out of toilet paper, because all of that data is on social networks. And who puts those data on social networks? Users themselves. Today, everything must be on social network, because if you're not on social network, you don't exist. But the first thing that connects data, collecting data and social networks, are ads, marketing and selling. And this is the interesting story and interesting connection, because if you think about it, do you click on the ads on the social networks or video clips?
By accident.
Mostly not.
Mostly not. I clicked on commercial when I tried to close the ad. But you have also two sides. One side are companies that are selling products and services, and the other side is users or consumers. And big companies try to sell products and services, but they don't know everything about their consumers. And with the help of the devices, social networks, and data like this, they close products and services to the final consumers. For example, if you put ad on newspaper in paper way, they don't know what the feedback is of putting some money in marketing. But in digital world, they have more control. And I think that in the future, we will not Google the terms of some products and services, because all of that devices will know better ourselves than us. And all those companies will offer individual marketing, not the white one for many consumers. Social networks know everything about your friends, about your interesting, about your opinions, location, everything about you. How? Through the posts, to the likes, to the shares, to the comments. But I don't know if you realized that it's from day one that you open the social network account. How we know that? Because after the Cambridge Analytica and Facebook scandal, those companies must provide to the users activity logs and better configuration of privacy and security. And this is an example of activity log of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you download the Facebook activity log page, it has every picture you post, every like, every share, from the day one of your account. And this is very terrifying to me. You can try if you have your Facebook account, and you can download the Facebook activity page. It's depends of your activity, but it's about 1 gigabyte of data that Facebook knows about you. One question is, can we sell our own data without the middleman? What do you think? Is our data worth something or no? Yes, they are very valuable to those companies, but we are paying to the data. For example, do you use Google Maps?
Yes.
Google Maps is one Google service that is free, yes? but we are paying this service by our data. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Google knows our location and where are we going and what route. And those data Google can use for various purposes. I don't know. If your watch tells that your blood pressure is low or high, or your sugar level is low, and you are going to this route, and in this route you have a pharmacy or some store, they can offer you ad directly on the fly when you are walking. And all of that services like that, you are paying with your data. But problem is that final consumers and users do not realize that you are paying with your data. And where your data is going and what are they doing with that data. Yes.
Okay, but in this case, you are saying that we are paying the service
Yes.
with our data. And can we sell it like for money?
No, money is data.
Yeah, but in this case, I instead of I have a subscription, I pay with my data.
Yes.
But,
In perfect world, those companies must pay you real money for your data, but this is the problem because the end users don't know that they are paying with data.
So I cannot go to a site where I sell my data and they give me
Yes.
money. Okay.
In the future, maybe. I know that because my wife is a translator and she works for Google as well. This is confidential information, streaming. And she is translating some terms and papers and all kind of information like that. And she said to me that Google is planning to achieve data payment for services because of law obligation on the national level. Okay, Google is a simple, white, innocent text box with no data, but Google knows everything about you. And not just on PCs, on every platform, your mobile phones, tablets, every Google profile that is connected on any device. Did you ever try to Google your Google activity?
Yes.
You can try in Google, you enter Google activity and it will show your activity. And Google is connected with YouTube, is the owner of YouTube, Google Maps, every services. And every log about activity, when you're searching something, when you're watching something, even when you communicate via email, it's on the Google activity. It's terrifying also. But you can adjust your configuration, but most of the configuration considered privacy and security are enabled. And you can disable it, but if you know about this possibility. Mostly people don't know about Google activity and where to find Google activity. Google Maps with your location, And the second part of Google collecting data is your profile. Why profile? Because of ad preference. And you can also put this URL and check what Google thinks about you. You can see male, 18 to 34 years old, basketball, music, flowers, and based on your data that you are searching on your Google search engine, Google makes your profile. If you are interested in, for example, cars, you are probably male. If you are searching for, I don't know, flowers, bags, lipstick, probably you are female. And this is guessing, but more data, more accurate your profile is. What do you think about it? Okay.
So if I can enter on a wireless LAN from my
Okay.
network, I will access internet through its IP address.
Yes.
So I can profile of my neighbor.
Okay, we'll talk about this later. And this is one of the strategy. But not only Google search engine or search engine overall takes data, your web browsers take data and your email clients, for example, take data. Web browser, hardware, IP addresses, geolocation, browser history, cookies, on mobile phones, sensors. All data from your computer or mobile device or device that you are accessing the internet. Okay? And you can also check what your web browser knows about you. If you go to the panopticlick webk cover your tracks URL, and it will give you all information that your web browser are letting to other people. Okay, and on the right you have something called heat map. When you are visiting the web page, they are tracking where your mouse is mostly on the web page. This technique is used to web page design, to better design your page, because if most of visitors are on this red area, you can put the important information on that web page. But problem is data collection and manipulation with you as a user. Email tracking is another stuff, and when you communicate through the mail, they usually take a pixel image attached to your email, and when you open the mail, they send information to the sender. Why? Because sender can confirm that your email is active, and you get more ads, more spam, more everything in your inbox. But you don't know that this pixel image is collecting data. Is presented as one of the marketing tool, because it's very important to marketing companies to see if their mails are read and opened. Every email client has weaknesses, vulnerabilities for those pixel image. Phishing in email are danger connected to the emails, but it's separate subject. But for common users, it's very difficult to know is email is legit or the scam is. And as you can see, mail.yahoo.com or yahoo.mail.com, which one address is right, and which link in mail are the correct one. Okay, you can see by the color. The real question is, can be anything, is there anything that can be done? Yes, in Europe, one of the things that is helping end users are general data protection regulation. You have also GDPR. And this is one of the trying to control big firms in data collection. Because if you read GDPR, it says that this data protection regulation is applied on all the European Union countries, and citizens and firms that are have business in those countries. And this is the one of the thing that try to stop the big companies, because big companies like Google that we saw collects very large amount of data, and the other companies cannot compete with that data collection. For example, Google can sell those data to other companies, but the smaller companies are not able to buy or collect. And Google is monopolist on that area, and this is no good. And we are heading to the second part of presentation that Professor asked. The second strategy to make control over our data is isolation or compartmentalization. To put some compartments to control your data. Objective is control who receives and can collect what information. This strategy came from isolation, to split the computer system into smaller pieces and make sure that each piece is separate from the other ones. And if it gets compromised, then it cannot affect to the other entities in the system. And idea is, this is just an example or idea to think about it. You can make your data, put your data in 3 sections or 3 compartments. One compartment is professional identity, professional data. The other one is social interaction. And the third one is private, personal data. Why? Because if someone collects and knows a professional identity, they do not have to be able to connect private and vice versa based on it. Strategy is do not put all eggs in the same basket. And how we can manage this? Sections, compartments, use of different software, and education or awareness. You can use lots of applications and softwares that common users that are not familiar with them. But in this web page, you can find all of those applications and tools that you need. First compartment is professional identity. The idea is that you keep your professional data separate from your private data. In professional way, when someone is Googling you, for example, you try to look the best you can, right? When you are applying for your job, it's not necessary to employees or big firms can track you from your private life data. Quote from Barack Obama, and he said if someone take pictures of him in high school, probably he never became president of the United States. And this is also working for you, me, and everyone. Idea is to have separate email only for business, search special browser, privacy add-ons in web browsers, and avoid to mix personal and professional data, and to have control and awareness of professional data as well. For example, can you look on those two pictures? One picture on the left is a conference picture, like today one, and people usually go to the conference and take selfies and pictures and post it in real time on social network. Why is this a bad practice?
Because it's relating more to
Okay.
social life.
Yes, but some attacker to your firm that want your firm's professional data knows your location.
Yes.
Your location of your boss depends on position in firm, and this is not good. Not good to put the real-time photos and location. And pictures are also have metadata with location, time, and everything within it. The second picture is a picture of ID credentials.
Yeah. It's very dangerous.
It's usual. First day at work, I work at that company and this is my ID credential. Why is this dangerous? Because attacker knows the looks of credential, and they can replicate and have credentials in firm. Today firms can also work as clean desk policy and lots of freelancers, and no need to have everyday employees in offices. And it's difficult to control all credentials.
In Brazil, it's very useful to use the information to create a fake profile
Okay.
in WhatsApp
Yes.
and to do
And to-
frauds and
Yes, and to connect to the firm's
not to
employees.
firms, but to your personal network
Okay.
and to ask money. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have email anti-tracking tools that prevents the pixel image that we mentioned before on the slides. You can control and block it, and your data from emails are not going anywhere. You can use also alternative email clients that are not from the big firms, but from the small ones, and they are more secure to have it than some usual common email clients. For the browsers, you can install, for example, uBlock Origin, and this is the configuration that you can enable or disable, but it's on your behalf as a user to control what configuration is enabled or disabled. Those add-ons exist on internet and can be implemented in web browsers or email clients. You can also use alternative search engine. DuckDuckGo is one of the popular concerning the privacy. And this is the professional compartment. Social compartment, email separate for social accounts, add-ons, but the most important thing is a sandbox or isolation environment. Browsers like Firefox and similar have sandbox of your tabs. If you logging in with, for example, Facebook on one tab, the other one tab is not connected within same web browser. And your social accounts cannot link or connect each other.
What is the real impact on selecting the privacy mode on the browser? Besides the storage in the device, is there an impact to Google?
You have control what kind of data you put on the internet. And to be honest, for some web browsers, enabling or disabling the option is not working. And web browsers sends the data anyway if you disable it. But it's another part of side of this problem. But for the common user, it's better to simply click few options and prevents the data collection. But if hacker wants your data, he will get the way to collect your data. But the point is the common users that they are not aware of those softwares and those configuration options. Because those configuration options are deeply hidden in some menus. And for common users, it's difficult to find and understand. But after the scandals, some national laws put an obligation on Facebook and social networks like that, to put those options visible to end users decide on each option. The best practice is to put vacation photos also in social media in real time because of tips, because of location. And why it's bad practice and why we need compartments, because I don't think that my boss must show the picture of me dancing in some club and make some opinions about me, what I'm doing in my spare time. Professional compartment is professional. You as expert, professional in work, and this is my social account for my friends, family, and so on. And third compartment is meant to searching search engine, keywords, everything what is my interesting, and especially mail for private communication, special browser with cookie deletion and history disabling, and do not use real personal information. That is concerning mostly for search terms or, for example, shopping. When you use shopping sites, you must search the certificates, you must see if it's a secure connection, and for example, you can use virtual cards for paying, not the real one, and you can use PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and you do not have you cannot put the danger on your finance when you are shopping. And in all sections, do not forget to use strong passwords. You must be aware that all your data and software are not platform compatible. For some desktop computers, you have excellent software and excellent options. But if you forget to enable on your mobile phone, you are in danger because you're using both of those devices. And pay attention that you can be traced if you are using all those compartments from the same device or your network, because professional identity, social identity, private identity have same IP addresses, and someone can fingerprint those devices, and then they connected all data from all your compartments. You can use VPN, virtual private networks, to mask. And if you want better privacy, you can use Tor browser, but Tor browser is another level. And this is about it for this presentation.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you know what is the real consequence of asking Google for the right to be forgotten?
Yes, according to GDPR, you have right to delete or forget the
That
data.
really happens? How can we be sure that they will delete our data?
No, they do not delete your data. They just put away web crawler and indexing on the data of yours. You have the form, online form, that you can ask Google to delete or move some data. But if your data are, for example, on portals, newspapers, or similar, you cannot ask every web portal to delete the article, but you can ask Google and make right reasons for that to remove web crawler or indexing from those data. Because this is very useful for professional compartment. I don't know, for example, one firm at our place have some construction workers around the firm, and that construction workers steal something from that firm. And this is in the article, black section, that some workers steals from company. And when you Google that company, on the first page you can find this news that is not connected to the company and reputation or work, but stealing.
What about the photos that they store? For instance, I have an account on Facebook.
Yes, photo on Facebook and social media are not private. You
But
can.
if I ask for the right to be forgotten, they must.
Yes, but you are entering the legal problem, because on the first end user license agreement you agreed to be public.
Yeah, but then yes, that is true. But there is also other laws, and one
Yes.
that is pretty, not too many years, the right to be forgotten.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can ask, but it's legal stuff,
Yeah.
and you must have a good reason for moving data.
And what about Cyrillic? Because we are talking about Google and English,
Okay.
Portuguese, but what about the Russian domain or China domain?
Uh,
How is Google working with these alphabets and these kind of?
I think yes, but you know, due to political reasons, it's difficult to communicate. Yes, but you must be aware.
What is the Google from Russia or from China? If I'm a Chinese guy
Okay.
and I find me in some Chinese place, can I access Google or have other resources? And now these guys are working with this because
As I know, China copy all of services, and they have they own social networks and communication services and for searching also. It's very monitoring.
they have
environment.
its own TVs
WeChat.
like this and also sniffing us.
Yes.
There's one solution we share.
Okay. Do you have any question?
Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
So
Yes. It's this topic is introduction. The light one, not very technical, but attention is to make awareness of data collection problem and brings one of the solution. You can make more compartments or section. But if you had in your mind that someone can track and connect those data, I think that your thinking is changing.
But it's hard to segregate the professional from the social because you have the same identity, right? It's your personal identity. Only on the personal stuff that you browse you can create like a sock puppet, something like that.
Yes.
But on the other tools you have the same identity. Only if you don't accept the people from work on your social
Yes.
medias, but if they search for you, you are like one click away.
Yes, you make the point, but you must try to separate your professional identity and not mixed with the private.
Yeah, I understand.
And there is another issue that I can contribute is about the use of VPNs.
Okay.
If you use VPNs,
Okay.
there are many and many are good, but you could have troubles accessing your Google accounts.
Yes,
Because
someone's,
they know that you are
yes,
accessing from Portugal, from China, from
Yes,
all over, and they said that, well, you are being hacked because your account is being accessed from Portugal and Spain and Germany.
yes,
But
and
you
some
have no-
some of the
you have no
services,
chance to say, I'm doing this.
yes,
They don't believe you.
yes, and some services blocked you according to VPN.
Nice.
Okay.
But Tor VPNs are a separate topic.
Yeah, but are more slow.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay.
Nice to have you here.
It's okay. I will put my email or my information if you want to contact me, or you can arrive at Erasmus in Rijeka in Croatia. Just let me know.
Very tempting.
Okay.
I will